Hi moms watching. Welcome to my channel. Or welcome back. All are welcome. I've been wanting to film this for a little while now and I don't have it necessarily planned out. I wrote down a couple notes, but it's just something that's really close to home to me. If you clicked on this, there's a reason. You are really struggling right now and you're feeling all these emotions and you just want some hope or relief, and I feel you on that, and I just want you to feel like some sense of normalcy. Someone understands and you're not alone. So that's really why I wanted to make this video. My name is Charlotte and I'm 33 years old. My daughter Araya Rose is going to be 21 months in a week. She's about to be 2. Before having a baby, I was not one of those people who like truly had this desire, like I want to have a baby, I want one now. Like that was not me. I'm a selfish person. I was a selfish person. Like I didn't realize how selfish I was until I had a baby, you know? Like every single person's different, every mom is different, and that's okay. But at the core of it, we all go through the fact that it is a whirlwind, life-changing event, and it is very hard. It's the hardest job in the world. I know everyone says that, but that's something we have in common. The first thing that I just want to say to you is to please be gentle with yourself. Like please. You may have had the baby and you may have felt like this amazing feeling and cloud-9 experience where you're just in awe of the baby, and then a couple days later, a weekend, whatever, the reality really hits and you're like, what the heck am I going to do? Like, how do I do this? Or you could be like me where you just like, I knew I loved her, but like it still wasn't like this like super high feeling. Like I don't know how to explain that. I just felt like I was going through a tunnel and like I was just grabbing like things along the way. Like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do next. Like, what? Can't even think, couldn't even like function. I felt like a baby myself. Like, I felt like someone had to take care of me. So many different emotions you're going through, and everyone does. Don't be hard on yourself. That's what I want to say. First thing is, allow yourself to feel those emotions and not feel guilty about it. Between the hormones, the labor, the fact that your life, there's a new beginning, the new life, that you're a new person you're taking care of, and a new life within yourself. You're feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, sleep deprived, and just doing everything for the first time. Think about that. You're doing all of this for the first time. When you say that, you realize like, okay, give yourself a break, give myself a break, okay? Another thing you might feel is guilt. You might have that guilty feeling like, I can't believe I feel like this. I can't believe I'm not more grateful. I can't believe I want to run away right now. Like I want to go run and cry and hide and like just be alone. Like, or I'm allowing this to affect me to this point when so many other people can't have kids or are dealing with death and dealing with like real trauma and horrible things. Like it is true, when I had my baby, like she is a blessing. My labor, everything, that was how crazy it was. Like, God blessed us. So I'm not taking away from that at all. I'm just saying like the guilt of feeling all those things is normal, and just be gentle with yourself. I know that everyone says this, that like after 4 weeks or 6 weeks, it gets easier, it gets better. And like, I didn't believe that. Like I really didn't. I was like, okay, like I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I really could barely get through a day. I felt like I was okay up until nighttime. Once it hit night, I was like, I'm like gonna cry right now. Like I don't want it to get dark. I felt alone. I felt like this is the time when like, oh, she's gonna wake up any second. I need to go to sleep. And I felt alone even though I wasn't, because I had my husband, I had a mom. My mom had come for the first week of my pregnancy, of the baby. I had people and family and support and all that, but somehow I still felt very alone. On top of like, my nipples were like ripped off basically. It was so bad. Breastfeeding is a whole other exhausting component. But anyway, you know, you're gonna feel like it's never gonna get easier, but it I wouldn't say necessarily easier, because every stage has its challenges, but it gets better. It gets more, you learn how to handle it. You learn how to adapt. You see yourself getting through each day, each like stage. You adapt, your hormones level out. You learn, the baby grows. Once the baby starts smiling, you'll start to feel like even more like, I felt that like, okay, this is good, you know? If you're watching this and you're feeling, okay, this is really confused, really guilty, really passionate about something. Like for me, I was really set on something as far as labor and doing natural, no inducing, no epidural, just natural with the midwives. And I went in there and I was like, great. I was breathing, I wasn't screaming, I had my lavender, I had my worship music, I had, you know, just everything in my mind already set. Like, I'm going to do this, I can do this, my body can do this, I'm gonna stay calm, I'm not gonna be a screaming, you know, person. And like, not to pat myself on the back, but even though all the midwives and nurses that came in there on the floor, like, you were the most calm woman in labor. They were like in shock, and I was like, all right, like, that's a good feeling, like, I can do this. And I'm like, if you knew me, like, you'd be in shock that I was like that. Anyway, long story short, my labor was so long that I was so sleep deprived, and at the time where I was going through like a day and a half of labor, I was not dilated like it literally was like tiny bit further. I can't even remember the numbers, but I was barely dilated, and I broke down. I was devastated. Came to the point that, you know, I had to accept, because my water broke, because I was sleep deprived from initially coming into the hospital to then being up all like 24 hours again, another 24 hours, that like I had to get this baby out. We had to make, like, my body was not progressing. So therefore, thank God for medicine, thank God for the nurses and the doctors and the things that we have access to. And so I had to just say, all right, like, this is what I gotta do. Slowly did the inducing, very slow. I got the epidural. I had a woman in there that was like, had specialized with her husband in supernatural healing, miracles. Like, she was a Christian. Like, it was just like God like put everything in place for me. She brought in a doula who I did not pay for, someone who was like, just happened to be practicing it, or just like interning there. She was by my side giving me a massage, doing everything she could for me. And anyway, point is, I was set on that, and then I realized, like, not everything goes the way you plan. So I say that to say that, like, even with breastfeeding, I'm like, I'm gonna do the breastfeeding, it's the best for the baby, as far as like the nutrients and the connection, all that, it's so great. But it didn't work out the way I wanted, and I felt guilty about it. I went back and forth, and then I'm like, well, but you know, my sanity is important as well. And my baby wasn't being fed properly. She'd wake up screaming, and I'm like, not even realizing it, like she wasn't gaining weight and stuff. So finally, when I did supplement, I only breastfed for a month anyway, and she was being fed, you know, and I felt okay, like I'm feeding my baby. So if you're in a position like that, my point is, I know you might be set on something, but don't feel pressure and guilt from everyone. Do what's best for you and your baby. And you are the mom, and you have the innate intuition. You know what your baby needs, you know what you need. And you'll get through it. So just let go of all the expectations and all of the guilt. you might be feeling this like separation between people because you are more secluded, but it's separation between you and your husband. So when I had the baby in that whole newborn stage, I just felt like I can't believe that I'm not gonna have this intimacy with my husband right now. That alone time and those little conversations and those little like snuggles and things that you would have on a day-to-day basis whenever you want is like completely, it's like there's something there that is taking up your time, your energy, your everything. Your whole entire energy is literally put into this baby. And so that was something that was new for me. That was something that was scary. So if you're feeling like that, like again, you're not alone, and it gradually comes back. Like you just have to breathe and just say like, this is in this moment now in this season, but it's going to get better. And just, you know, even if you can't pray for long periods of time, I encourage you to talk to God throughout the day. When you can, just be like, Lord, help me. Lord, be here. Put on some worship in the background. If you can get a devotion, great. If you can read a scripture here and there, great. If not, put on worship music. But just trust God and trust the process. And even if you don't feel like it's going to get better, I promise you, things do get back to normal. Your hormones level out, and you will feel a weight of difference. For me and Mariah, it was like beyond hard at first. Well, hard pregnancy, hard delivery, hard newborn stage. Got a little better. I had an instant love for her that's unexplainable, but at the same time not very like mushy feely high type thing. It was just like I knew I loved her. I knew I had to take care of her. My adrenaline kicked in. You know, you do what you have to do, and you have moments of like, oh my goodness, so cute, and then you're just like, I need to get out of here. I need to go cry. I need to like run away. I need to hide. I can't believe I'm in this position. You know, like I had dark moments, and some moments that felt like a really long time, and it shouldn't be that long. And then I felt, you know, waves. Like there'd be days of it, days of depression, then there'd be a good day, then there'd be a week of depression, and then there'd be a couple good days. You know, like it for me it was waves. Also, for me, it took a long time for me to adjust, for me to accept, even past the year mark. And I think at 11 months for me, I felt like, all right, this is amazing. But then of course I went back into a wave of emotions and feeling like I'm not free. I can't be myself. I can't do this, this, and that. And God had to really, really, really stretch me and allow me to find myself, this new person, and go through everything. And it's not easy at all. And for you, it's gonna be different. For you, it's gonna be, you know, it could be similar, but everyone has a different life, a different dynamic in their family, and a different, I don't know, pain tolerance, adaptability. And all I can say is that there is someone who feels the way you feel. So I just want to suggest to talk to somebody, to confide in someone that you trust, to pray, to reach out, to like hear other moms, because you can feel very alone and secluded and like you're going crazy if you don't hear from other women. Because, you know, and then once you hear it, you're like, oh, you have this little relief, like, oh, okay, somebody else is going through that. I'm not crazy, great, you know? But what I do want to say is right now, like, the bond that me and my daughter have is like nothing I've ever experienced, and like no other person in the world. And so I want to give you that reassurance and the hope that, like, even though in this moment you may be feeling all of these really, really heavy emotions, the relationship that you're going to have with your child is going to be the most amazing and beautiful thing that you would ever have in your life if you don't feel that in the moment. My little girl is just so beautiful and so smart, and I just like can't wait to see our relationship and what's going to be like as she gets older. I wasn't cherishing the moments in the beginning the way that I do now. And again, everyone's different. You may be. But right now I'm like every moment like just in awe and cherishing it, looking at her grow. I see her literally growing every day, and her laugh and her smile and her little things that she learns. Like, it's the most beautiful thing to see and experience. And I'm so proud to be her mom. So you're doing the best that you can, and like, you're gonna grow, you're gonna learn, you're gonna make mistakes, but you have to live this. You have to trust that it's gonna get better. Trust that the Lord has you in his hands. Pray for your husband or your, family members and friends, like whoever's in your life, that they'll just be there for you and support you and be gentle with you, and pray that you get closer and that you can learn from this and that you become the best mom you could be. And that's all you can do, That's it. That's what I wanted to say. I love you guys. Subscribe, comment below your thoughts, some tips, whatever it is. Please, please, please let me know. I want to hear from you moms. If you need someone to talk to or prayer, if you need more advice, anyone who has been through this or has more kids or has whatever, share some tips below so that we can see the growth and be able to understand more in depth other women's situations. Love you. Get some rest. Bye.